Hey, what is up everyone? In this video we're going over my thoughts on the Hoarders Hunt mystery that just completed in Sea of Thieves. So this mystery has some good parts and some bad parts, and we're going to take a look at everything, and then I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts about all of this in the comments below. So I think one thing that we need to cover before we can talk about the Hoarders Hunt mystery is the first mystery that we had last year with DeMarco. The stuff in-game was really interesting. There was stuff where you would find a secret lantern underwater and then that would reveal secret messages in the game. You'd be able to go at certain times to different islands and then see ghostly images of like DeMarco and stuff appear. And then of course, we have to admit, and this is a spoiler, it's already over, so I don't know if it's worth saying there's a spoiler alert, but the spoiler is we find out who murdered DeMarco, and just that ending and the reveal I think made the whole mystery worth it in the end. And I really enjoy that. And if you want to see that full thing, I have a video and I'll link it right here for you to watch. But that was some of the really good stuff the first mystery did well. What it did poorly though was, first, I think just so much of a reliance on outside sources outside of the game for the mystery. It wasn't that fun if you were a Sea of Thieves player that just wanted to play Sea of Thieves, whereas like you really had to just pay attention to like online medias and like going all over the place trying to figure out stuff with it. And while it wasn't as intense as the Hoarders Hunt mystery, it still was annoying, and it basically resulted in a small group of players basically solving all the outside work of the mystery, and then everyone else that was just interested just hopping in game to look at like the results basically. Which, you know, that might be fine, but I don't think it's as engaging of a mystery if only a small amount of the player base is actually engaged with a majority of it. So that was one of the bad things with the DeMarco mystery. The other bad part about it was how long it took. It took about like a quarter of the year. It was a span of like several months that I went on, almost maybe half a year actually. And that was just too drawn out. By the time we got to the actual mystery being revealed, most people weren't that interested anymore. Honestly, the reason I was still interested was because I was making those recap videos for the mystery. But it got to the point where it's just like, it was being dragged on way too long. And I think that's the biggest thing that the Hoarders Hunt mystery did well, is that it did not feel like it went on for too long. It felt like it took its natural course. It was about a month and a half from when we started the Hoarders Hunt mystery to when it ended. So I think that was really good. And that honestly might be where the praise ends. So let's get into talking about the Hoarders Hunt now. I was really excited when the Hoarders Hunt was first announced. I thought the trailer was really cool, the spooky H voice, all that kind of stuff was really interesting. I thought this might have a big impact in the storyline because, you know, the Gold Hoarder is a big character in the Sea of Thieves like lore and stuff, and we don't know who this H person is, but I thought they might play into some of the stuff we saw like with the Dark Brethren and other things in the past. So there was a lot that I thought could have been really interesting with this and may have had more significant impact in the Sea of Thieves story compared to the DeMarco mystery, where partially with the DeMarco mystery it kind of felt like they just wanted to do something with DeMarco because the arena was closed, so they were like, oh, I guess we can just kill him off since the arena's gone. He doesn't really need to be around anymore. In terms of impact to the Sea of Thieves storyline, it didn't really feel like it had that great of an impact. It was kind of just like writing in something because of real world incidences with the game, which is fine. I still enjoyed that story that happened with DeMarco. I thought the Hoarders Hunt could have done something a bit more interesting with H and the Gold Hoarders and all this stuff. So in terms of the storyline, I honestly don't really know what the story is. Like, I did the mystery, like I followed it, I made all the videos that y'all have seen, I did the voyages and stuff, and I have no idea who H is. I don't really feel like anything was like revealed during this mystery. It was pretty lackluster in my opinion. We're going to come back to what I think they should have done in terms of like storyline and stuff, but I want to talk about how the actual mystery worked. So this mystery was a lot more streamlined, I should say, with this mystery having 4 parts, and these 4 parts basically each consisted of online tasks, and then you figured out a code from those online tasks, and then you unlocked a voyage in-game to complete. There were rewards for doing the voyages. The first week was just like a small amount of gold, the second week was a little bit more gold, the third week was like a little gold coin trinket, which was cool. And then the fourth week was the gold hoarder trinket, which I think is definitely the coolest reward we've gotten so far with these mysteries. Now, when they first announced this, I was slightly disappointed, honestly, because like I said with the DeMarco mystery, I would honestly prefer the whole mystery just take place inside Sea of Thieves, and like we could do things like we could see like maybe there's changes in the world that we have to pay attention to, or we find like a note or something in game. And we actually had more of that with the DeMarco mystery than we did with this. Everything involved with like solving the mystery was all done outside the game. Nothing was inside the game. So that was pretty disappointing. But I held out hope because I figured someone will solve it and we'll probably get the code revealed online. So you could kind of just wait for the code to be revealed. And then the voyage should be fun. The problem is the voyages sucked. They were all almost identical and exactly the same. Now, I will say the voyages were definitely different than voyages we've had already in the game, but they weren't fun. Maybe to some people they were, but to me, I found them really boring, honestly. It basically consisted of you, every time, going in, getting the book, going to different islands, getting different pages, and then at the end getting a key, and then you sell it. That's really it. There was no, like, cutscenes, and when I say cutscenes, I'm kind of thinking of something similar to how the DeMarco mystery ended, and there just wasn't anything. I was really hoping that maybe the last voyage that we had for this mystery would have something that was similar to the DeMarco mystery, where we actually got to meet H or something like that, where like maybe even it took us to like the shores of gold, and like we found like a hidden tomb in there, and H is sitting in there with like all of his notes or something all around the place, and maybe has like the gold hoarder skull there. I don't know. Something could have been cool, but just none of that happened. All we did was just get a stupid key, and maybe in 2 days when the mystery officially ends, we'll see like what was in those chests that all the keys go to. Maybe, but in terms of like what happens after you solve the mystery, and it's been a few days since I've solved it in game and done the voyages and stuff, it's just lackluster. It's pretty boring. If we go back to like the puzzle tasks and all that kind of stuff, those were extremely hard, and it's great that people were able to solve it, but it kind of feels like it's one of those things where a majority of people probably weren't going to get any enjoyment from this mystery because it was just so high level. There's nothing you can really contribute to it. I know for the first 2 weeks, me and some other friends that I had tried to do this mystery and tried to look at the puzzles and stuff, but it was just kind of like that level that you couldn't even do. Now, to be clear, I'm not against Sea of Thieves having done this mystery and how they did it. I think there's probably tons of people that had a lot of fun solving all these puzzles and all the letters from H and stuff. But for me, when I first heard the concept of these Sea of Thieves mysteries, I was hoping it'd be more something that was very impacting of the Sea of Thieves story, and also something that would play out in the game. And that just hasn't really happened. Maybe I missed something, to be honest. With all these voyages, there was like tons of pages of stuff, and then obviously during the puzzles, there's all the letters and everything. Maybe H was revealed, and there was really interesting things that were happening with the storyline of this mystery that I missed. And I would love to hear that in the comments below. If it was so easy for me to miss, someone that's, you know, trying to make content on this, someone who's trying to play through everything, then I'm sure most people missed it as well. The final thing to talk about with this mystery is the prizes and the rewards that came along with it. So, while the prizes aren't really going to be an effect for a majority of the people that were taking part in this mystery, and I'm sure either maybe none of you that are watching this video, or maybe that very few of you watching this video probably won any of these prizes, I still think they are pretty cool. Of course, the grand prize being the gold hoarder skull with the keys and everything, I think that looks really cool. It would be really nice reward to have, and I hope whoever got it is really happy with it, as well as the runner-up prizes with the replica keys or the Reaper's Mark medallions. I think all those prizes are pretty cool, and I think it's nice that, you know, you can get like a physical reward and it's not just something in-game. But for the majority of us players, we got stuff that was in-game that I thought was really nice. So we got the gold hoarder skull trinket, which I think obviously is the best reward of everything in these mysteries. The gold hoarder skull looks really nice. It's very reminiscent of the gold hoarder himself. I don't know what this means for the Gold Hoarder storyline. Is he like officially dead? Or is this just a replica trinket of his skull? I'd be interested to know like what the actual lore aspect of this trinket is. We also got another trinket which is just like a gold coin, and that looks nice. Obviously it's not as cool as the Gold Hoarder skull, but it's still a nice little bonus reward. I will say I'm a little disappointed they had, a reward for the Voyage 3 and Voyage 4, but for Voyage 1 and 2 it's just a gold reward. I think it would have been nice if they just had like other stuff with it. Like even for the sales, we're gonna get, that's the other reward that we can get. And if you completed the entire mystery, you did like all the voyages and stuff on June 22nd, which is in, I think tomorrow it will be when this video gets posted. Those sales look really nice. They could have just made that the reward for Voyage 2 or whatever, and then put in something for Voyage 1. And that would have been really awesome. You get a reward each week, and that would have been great. Whereas now everyone's just having to wait for these sales, even though they completed the mystery like the week before. Not to get off too much on that, I think all these rewards are really nice looking, and I think they're a lot better than what we got in the previous mystery last year. But to wrap up my thoughts on this mystery, and I guess compare it to what we've had previously, what this mystery doesn't do well is have an engaging story that has a satisfying conclusion, and the in-game content felt lacking, and honestly more of an afterthought. It felt like the developers really just wanted like a real life treasure hunt, and then they're like, oh crap, we have to connect it to the game somehow. So they kind of just did the voyages as an afterthought. That's how it comes off to me. But in terms of things they did well, I think the rewards that you could get with this voyage were pretty good. They were a lot better than the previous mystery. I also think how long this mystery took was a lot better than previously. This mystery was a lot more streamlined, a lot more focused, and it stayed just long enough to be interesting. It was basically here for only like a month and a half, and I think that was perfect. But that covers all my thoughts on the Hoarders Hunt mystery. As you can see, I wasn't the biggest fan of this mystery. However, I do think that it was a nice experience for those that did enjoy it. I hope that we see something a bit better next year if they keep doing these mysteries, and hopefully we see more in-game content with them rather than the puzzles outside of the game. But I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on everything that was discussed in this video, and just in general what you thought about the Hoarders Hunt mystery in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video though, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.